The Volunteers. September 13, 2014. Note from Sue. I woke up this morning with the following dream message. We are the Arcturian, speaking to you from the now of 1946. We are in what is known as a hospital, awaiting the birth of the female human that we will be overlighting. The year is 1946, and Earth is in great danger again, and still. Gaia has put out another call to the Ashtar Command in the Galactic Federation to assist her. She needs some humans who can be a genetic combination of galactics and celestials to assist her in the dangerous times ahead. The testing and the droppings of atomic bombs have wounded her body all the way into her fourth-dimensional expression. It appears that the Draconians wearing human forms have lost this latest world war, but in reality they have infiltrated much of the Allied forces that appeared to have won. These forces have now gone underground, both literally via their many underground cities, and physically in that many Draconians have taken an Earth vessel to disguise their true nature. To counteract this ruse, we of the Galactic Federation are contributing our genetics to certain humans who have volunteered for this mission. We will then overlight them throughout their lifetime. We, meaning the Arcturians, have joined our genetics with the Pleiadians, Antarians, and Sirians from Sirius B, which is one of our galactic regional centers. The contribution of this genetic combination will be implanted in our galactic family members who volunteered to take a human vessel during this now. The main area in which these decisions and actions are occurring are on the Arcturian mothership. Our mothership that has been overlighting dear Gaia during the horrific destructions during World Wars I and II. From our nowness on the mothership we can see there are many possible realities in which Earth is destroyed by yet another world war. In fact, the seeds for this third world war are already planted. We see that the Zeta Reticuli who have worked with the Nazis on their plan to create a superior race, are about to shift their attention to the United States. The United States has taken many of the German masterminds into their scientific community. Also, the Draconians in human disguise who supported the Nazis during the first two world wars have shifted their interests to the United States. From the Draconians' perspective of the fourth dimension, they have been able to view the possible reality of their defeat during World War II, and are already planning another world war, with their base in the United States. Because the Draconian timeline is out of phase with third-dimensional Earth time, they are able to implant their genetic codes into many of the founding fathers of the United States. They have already taken over the Freemasons, who have been the holders of the Atlantean technology and information since Julius Caesar destroyed the Great Library in Alexandria, Egypt. To combat what the Draconians have done, as well as what we see the United States will allow the Zetas to do, we have decided that we must implant much of our genetic material into humans who are being born from this now of 1946 and forward. These humans will have a greater chance of receiving and activating the 97% ascension genes that have been turned off in humanity, until the fifth-dimensional light can activate them. The ones who were born just after World War II will be mature adults during the possible timelines of Gaia's ascension. Therefore, we are contributing our genetic material, as well as our constant higher guidance, to as many of these humans as possible. In this manner, we anticipate that some of them will be able to remain in some degree of contact with their higher expressions of self. We also hope that this multidimensional contact will assist them to remember to accept the higher light into their consciousness so that it can activate their 97% galactic DNA. Those humans will have the ability to remember their true, multidimensional natures, and will be able to communicate with their Pleiadian, Sirian, and Arcturian higher expressions of their multidimensional self. Since these galactic beings were amongst the ones who initially seeded the human race, we have been chosen to assist Gaia by assisting her people. From our location in the fifth dimensional now, we can see all possible future realities. Therefore, we know that even though Gaia's plans for planetary ascension have been greatly disrupted by the Draconian humans, stemming from this 1946 timeline, there is still a possible reality in which Gaia does, indeed, ascend. Therefore, we have decided to genetically upgrade certain members of the human race. We are hoping that this upgrade, as well as our constant overlighting of these volunteers, will create a support system for Gaia's plan to transmute her third-dimensional shell back into her true fifth-dimensional light planet. As we look forward to that impending time of 2014 and beyond, we see a strong possible reality in which enough humans can transmute their third-dimensional physical body into their fifth-dimensional light body. We know that Gaia will be ready, her minerals, plants, and animals will be ready, but many humans will still be trapped in the darkness of 3D illusion. It is for this reason that we have decided to contribute our genetics and constant guidance. Oh. We sense that the physical being we are overlighting is about to be born, but there appears to be a problem. We will need to overlight her from within the surgery room. In this timeline, the mother is often put to sleep, so she does not suffer the pain of delivery. However, the labor has been long and the mother cannot assist in the birthing process while she is unconscious. Immediately, we are in the surgery room. We see the light body of the one soon to be born hovering over the mother's inert body. We will have to enter her physical form while in utero, or she will not survive. Thus, we send a fragment of our collective self into the mother, then into the unborn babe. The mother is awake to her physical form, which allows her to perceive our assistance from her etheric self. In this manner, we are able to assist with the delivery. However, the mother has been under the ether too long, and her life signs alarm the doctor and nurses. Hence, the newborn is somewhat abandoned on a metal weighing table while everyone tends to the mother. This moment of abandonment will be replayed in her psyche until her full awakening. On the other hand, being a newborn, she is able to perceive our energy field, which is lovingly encompassing her while the others tend to the mother. This early merging of consciousness, which appeared to occur as a mistake, will actually assist her perceptions of us throughout her life. It is in this manner that we, her higher expressions of self, remember the density and chaos of the third dimension. Just as she and the others who volunteered for this assignment will greatly benefit from our guidance, we will learn through them how best to guide humanity. All of those who volunteered to take this away mission will be wearing an Earth vessel that has been seeded with galactic DNA. We are hopeful that this higher dimensional DNA will assist them to activate and merge with the higher expressions of their multidimensional self at an early age. The difficult component for our volunteers will be the great loneliness for home that they will suffer. We move forward now into the timeline from the 1950s through the early 1990s, in which the Zeta Reticuli are using human DNA to augment their own over-replicated DNA. Because of their long war with the Draconians, as well as their own mistreatment of the planetary surface, the Zetas needed to retreat into the inner caverns of their planet. Before they realized it, they had become sterile and had to replicate themselves via cloning. Since they cloned out emotions, they were unaware of the fear they induced in their human subjects. The Zetas, along with their Draconian companions, came to Earth to take DNA samples from their abductees. They were especially interested in the humans who had volunteered to be our away team to Earth because they were holding a constant genetic connection with us, the members of the Galactic Federation. The United States made a deal with the Zetas to exchange human DNA for Zeta advanced technology. As shown in the X-Files series, this technology was kept by the Illuminati, Draconians in human vessels, and was never shared with the masses of the people. The away team of our Galactics and Celestials in human vessels has had to silently know what could not be discussed for many decades. They knew the truth of what was occurring because we told them. We told them everything in their dreams and meditations and guided them toward information when we saw they were ready. Many of our away team felt different, isolated and alone with an inner secret that they did not totally understand and would not dare share with anyone. Therefore, they became lonely, depressed and often went off into their imagination. However, when others thought they were just daydreaming, they were actually communicating with us. Unfortunately, once their consciousness returned to 3D life, they usually forgot what had occurred in their higher dimensional selves. With that brief history lesson, we the Arcturians return to your now of full awakening. Due to all that we have described, many of our away team forgot to remember their higher dimensional expressions. They, you, were often haunted by dreams and imaginations, which were actually the true reality. In addition, the brainwashing of the third dimension was much worse than we had predicted. Therefore, many members of our away team in human form forgot about the higher expressions of their multidimensional self that actually connected them to their home for which they so longed. And some of our away team was primarily associated with the celestial, angelic kingdom. On the other hand, some of them were primarily associated with the members of the Galactic Federation and or Ashtar Command. Thus, some of you have more angelic traits and others have more galactic traits. However, once your awareness expands into your higher fourth and fifth dimensional expressions of your multidimensional self, your reality will become increasingly based on unity with all life. Then the difference between angelic and galactic will merge into the true unity of the One. In the higher dimensions, angels, Galactic Federation members, Ascended Masters, and Elohim, who are builders and holders of form, all merge into the One of the Now. Then, as your consciousness increasingly merges with the higher expressions of your multidimensional self, your human graduation from third-dimensional individual consciousness will transmute into the higher dimensional unity consciousness with all life. We, your higher dimensional expressions, are here in the ever-present now to merge with our courageous representatives on Earth. We see that all of you have suffered much, but have not given up on your own inner directives. We commend you all for somehow remembering us, who are higher expressions of yourself, in spite of the immense third-dimensional campaign to force you all to live in fear and follow that which is outside of you. You, our beloved volunteers who have chosen to wear an Earth vessel during this time of great personal and planetary transmutation, are always with us. We are with you, and observe how even when you are tired, frightened, or angry you carry on. Somehow, you have remembered to remember yourself. Because of your courage and tenacity, we can openly communicate with you in your now. We thank you for remembering your true, multidimensional self, and lovingly commend you on your great sacrifice and courage. Despite all barriers that you have confronted, we see that you are still able to hear our call to action. Remember that we are you, now. Together we serve Gaia in her task of planetary ascension. Channeled by Suzanne Lee. www.suzanneleephd.blogspot.com